Hello friends, good evening. So once again, this Sunday we are back with our regular session on a talk related to a topic which is related to your career growth. As we have mentioned in our post, in our Facebook post, etc. So this week we are trying a little different. Uh, it will be better, right? It is always good if we have the presence of an expert to guide us, to support us on topics related to career growth. So this is an effort to bring in people who are expert in their respective fields and who can actually add value to your and my career growth. So today we actually chose to talk on a particular topic which is very close to my heart. And I'm sure that many of you can relate to this particular topic. So friends, first of all, I would like to welcome you today evening in this very, very special episode of our Career Growth Series live talk. And we have a special guest today. I'll be introducing with that special guest in a few moments. First of all, people who are watching this for the first time, my name is 𝗛𝙗𝙗 𝗵𝗏𝗧𝗏. I'm an author and a certified life and executive coach. So I like to work with young professionals, helping them taking the right step to grow in the career, in the profession. So today, as I said, that we have a very, very interesting guest, a special person close to my heart, my buddy. So this person makes a lot of difference in people's life, whomsoever he comes in touch with. जिसके भी साथ ये बातें करते हैं, जिसके भी साथ इनका टच होता है, he connects with that person and gives something in return, and that thing which he gives in return is related to the health of that person. So that's why he is a very, very special person. Okay, we have the okay, Ankit. Yes, good evening, Ankit. Thank you for being there. Well, so I'd like to bring that person on. And also, I'd like to talk about that person a little bit more once he's there on the screen. So here, I'd like to welcome Mr. Devbrath Guha. Hi, Dev.
Hey, hi, Dhriti.
How
Hi,
are you doing?
Ankit. I'm doing good. How are you?
Great, fantastic. I'm also doing great. Thank you so much for accepting the request to come here and talk with the people on this very, very important subject.
Sure.
So, friends, a quick introduction to Mr. Devbrath. So, he is an internationally certified wellness coach. He is also a certified nutritionist. And as you know, that when we talk about coaching certification, the best certification that comes to is from International Coaching Federation. So, he's an ICF certified coach as well. He has also done masters in exercise science. Wow, that's very fantastic. And apart from this, do you know what the secret? I'd like to touch upon a little bit on that, because he's not only an health expert and a nutritionist. इसको छोड़ के भी उनका बाकी भी दूसरा काम है, and he's also a banker. That's what we're talking about here. So he's into a full-time job. वो full-time job करते हुए उन्होंने इतना कुछ किया, उन्होंने सर्टिफिकेशन किया, इंटरनेशनल सर्टिफिकेशन, कोई भी इधर उधर का सर्टिफिकेशन नहीं है दोस्तों. So that's why I think he's a very, very important and interesting person who will be adding value to today's session. Another very interesting thing about Mr. Guha is for 7+ years, he is actually involved in coaching people. Until now, he has coached more than 760 people. And one very interesting thing about him is the way he coaches or the way he trains related to health. He makes it very simple. Normally, हम लोग जब भी health के बारे में बात करते हैं, there are a lot of jargons, right? A lot of technological terms are there, जो मेरे समझ में नहीं आता है. So he is not a person who will be telling you all those jargons and then trying to show that I'm a big knowledgeable guy, I'm a big guru. No, he doesn't teach people like that. He doesn't train people like that. He tries to convey the message in very, very simple terms, which is understandable by everyone. So he will give examples of your life, day-to-day life, and pick up those examples to show you that how a certain thing can be beneficial to your health or vice versa. So great. Thank you so much, Dev, for being here.
My pleasure, man. My pleasure. Am I audible clear?
Yes, you are perfectly audible.
Superb.
So friends, as I always request you, so in case you have any comments to share, and today's, especially in case you have any questions for Mr. Dev, you can go ahead and put it on the comment section. We will show those questions here, show your comments here. And yep, so let's learn together. So now when we talk about health, what do you think, friends? Do you think that health is important for your career growth? हम लोग normally career growth के बारे में बात करते हैं यहाँ पे. So health कहाँ से आया, right? बहुत जगह दिमाग में आ सकता है. अरे career के बारे में बात करते हैं ना, ज़्यादा पैसा कमाने का, बड़ा job लेने का, just you want success in your career. That's all. Health कहाँ से आया बीच में? So what do you think? Do you think that health is important? In case you think it is important, you can put it in the comment section. In case you think otherwise, you can also put it in the comment section, which I'll be doubting you think otherwise or not. Something that I'll also be asking you, sometimes this is what I hear people, talking about, कि समय नहीं है, कब करें? हेल्थ के बारे में कब टेक केयर करें? सुबह नींद से उठ के ऑफिस के लिए रेडी होना पड़ता है, and then you come back from office, you are completely tired, कुछ टाइम कब करें? जॉब करें या फिक्र करें? क्या करें? कैसे करें? So I think that will be very interesting because we'll be asking this question to Mr. Dev and then trying to understand that what is his point of view, because the good thing is that he's also on the same boat, right? He's also working.
Absolutely.
So I'm sure that will add value to that particular point. So friends, before going forward, I know that there are many people who critically examine regarding any topic that we talk about. So we'd like to present some facts here. थोड़ा सा facts देख लेते हैं कि health की importance के बारे में. So there is a survey that was conducted by this American Psychological Association 2017 में इन लोगों ने एक सर्वे किया था. And employees ने क्या बताया देखिए. They experience high level of stress. They are more likely to have a decreased productivity and increased absenteeism. अगर if you feel high level of stress, उसका result क्या हो सकता है? आपकी productivity, absenteeism के ऊपर आ सकता है. आप बोलो कि ये बात तुम पता था, हाँ बहुतों को पता है बहुत सारी चीज, but लोग करते नहीं हैं. That's the challenge. And I'll also go into few more facts. Let me show you something wherein it shows something related to what is the situation in India. So there was a health on demand India 2021 survey that was conducted. So they found that 3 in 5 employees, which is approximately 59%, they reported they feel extremely highly or somewhat stressed on a daily basis, and this is specifically at work. They feel stressed. Then this particular survey also found that less than 10% of Indians do any kind of physical activity on a daily basis. Oh, that's a shocking percentage, right? Indians also said that 55% of them are getting less than 6 hours uninterrupted sleep. So we will specifically try to learn about the importance of sleep from Mr. Dev also. Well, friends, so this data and the facts and figures suggest that health is so very important. It directly impacts your performance, stress level at work. And survey ये भी बताते हैं कि there is a gap, there is a huge gap among Indian people taking health seriously. So yes, that's why we chose today's topic on health, and today we would like to learn from Mr. Dev what are the 5 reasons that your health is important. Well, I have a spelling mistake there, please excuse me for that. So what I mean to say is health is important for your career growth. 5 reasons. Yes, over to Mr. Dev.
Hey, thanks a lot, Dhriti, for that wonderful introduction. Thank you so much, and thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak. Now, this is something which is a passion for me. I love to speak on wellness. I love to speak on health, fitness. And being in the corporate industry now for 22 years, I work as a senior vice president with HSBC for last 11 years in this banking space for a very long time. I can very easily relate to how wellness has played a role, okay, in my longevity, in the way I have managed things, the way I am running technically on two bikes. Okay, I still remember that movie of Ajay Devgan standing on two bikes. Okay, आज भी मुझको याद आता है Ajay Devgan standing on two bikes and then moving through. I actually feel as if I am on a banking boat or a banking bike, and then there is a wellness bike which I do as my part-time side hustle. So there is absolutely no doubt in my mind. Okay, and this debate comes up very often. Health is important, or wealth is important, or career is important. There is no doubt that health is most important. Okay, you go back, ask Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, if all the wealth that he had got, if he had to give it up on the day that he was on his deathbed, I'm extremely certain that he would have given it up just for that extra 2 days, okay, that he wanted to stay. So there is absolutely no doubt that health is most important, and that is one of the best things that COVID has done. COVID has actually taught people the importance of health. There are health coaches that have grew up in the system. Everyone is now a health coach, watching Google, watching YouTube, asking people to drink amla juice, neem ka juice, kadi patta, bel patta, and all that stuff. Everyone has become a wellness coach, and people have become more focused about their health. Everybody runs around, okay, everybody goes to jog, more people on the ground, on the park. You can see more uncle aunties on the street. Everybody has got more focus. So that's one benefit of COVID that has happened. Now, to your pointed question, health plays a very, very important role in your career growth as an employee. And one most important thing is the kind of motivation that you bring, okay, the kind of motivation or the kind of zeal that you bring onto your office space, in the shop floor that you are working, that is extremely rubbing onto others. Okay, that kind of excitement, that kind of energy, that kind of zeal, that kind of enthusiasm, that kind of vigor, okay, it boosts the workplace motivation, making it a much, much better place. People feel more connected with you. You are at top form, okay, right from the onset of the day. There is no happy Monday, okay, or a Monday blue, or a Friday good, or something of those lines. Okay, I have never done that. I never say happy Friday, and I don't have any Monday blues. Every day is great for me. I am extremely energetic. I love my job. I do everything that's possible to give my best, and that can happen only when you are on your top health. Now imagine, okay, if I was down, I was disturbed, I was having some kind of an ill health, my backbone pain, some hip pain, some joint pain. The first thing I will do after going to office on Monday would be to speak about all the bad things that have happened over the weekend. Okay, I could not pay, I could not get up, I could not bear this pain, and this office is so far, Mondays are so dreadful, abhi boss ka meeting hai, ye bulayega, wo bulayega, ye number, wo number. We start cribbing, and that spoils the motivation, that spoils the mood. So I think a super health is extremely necessary for an employee to grow in his career, because people around him and top of him perceive him to be a very useful resource. I don't know if I have answered that particular point well.
Yeah, perfectly. I think, yeah, that's what your first point actually touching upon that aspect, because I have seen many a times that people actually, even though they are a part of the meeting, somewhere they are not in the meeting.
I know.
And the reason in most of the cases, it is not that they are not interested in the subject. Their health is not supporting them to be actively participating in the meeting.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, all of us, I'm sure that all of us know the importance of, say, कोई भी अगर important meeting हो रहा है, आपका उसमें 100% participation कितना जरूरी होता है. Even though
सही बात है.
आप अगर मीटिंग में पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर रहे हो ठीक तरीके से, तो हो सकता है कि somewhere it is going to impact your career in the longer term, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that brings to my second point, which is pretty related, mental clarity. Okay, mental clarity. Mental clarity to take decisions, mental clarity to put across your points in an empathetic yet assertive manner. गुस्सा नहीं करना है. Don't get angry on people. Don't start shouting. Don't start arguing with your bosses or with your managers. But put those points in a very empathetic, in a very assertive way, which is more creative, more collaborative. I'm not talking about faking again. Talking about genuine, and that can only happen when you have that mental clarity. Your brain is very high on glucose. You don't feel like sleeping. When you talked about this meeting, I have seen so many people morning, early morning, 10 o'clock. Some morning prayers are happening, and prayers are basically boss calls up all the heads of the unit and is taking a feedback. When somebody is speaking, the other two people are probably yawning. And I feel it so disturbing that at 10 o'clock, how can you yawn? Imagine the plight of those people after a lunch meeting that they are attending. Most of them have fallen asleep. Okay, and if it's a town hall where the boss is speaking in the front, thinking all of his subordinates, employees are listening to 120 people, 15, 20 people at the back end are already gone off to sleep. Now that is something which is extremely disturbing. That is something that is not allowing you to pick up certain important points that are getting discussed in that meeting, in that town hall. And it's not giving you an opportunity to showcase your sharpness, to showcase your caliber. That caliber and sharpness can be demonstrated only when you are mentally present and you are able to put across your points in a lucid, empathetic and collaborative manner and not talk any nonsense. Okay, and we have seen so many such examples in corporate life today. People just open their mouth and start speaking something extremely unrelated, putting off people around. So I think mental clarity, sharpness, helping taking decisions is most critical again. And that is a key for growth in your corporate life.
Exactly. I think on this, I'll also add one point that specifically for people who are supervisors, managers, जिनके अंडर में टीम होते हैं. Now the team will be looking up to the supervisor, the manager, right? कि ये हमें दिशा दिखाए. मैनेजर अगर खुद दिशा ढूंढ रहे हैं, कोई टॉपिक है, उस टॉपिक में सोचने के बजाय वो सोच रहे हैं कि वो जो पेन हो रहा है ना पीछे, मुश्किल हो रहा है. मतलब his entire mind is focused on that particular thing. So people who follow the manager or the supervisor, somewhere it is going to impact them also, right? I mean,
absolutely.
The team's motivation, the complete motivation for the team as a whole is going to get impacted because of one person not taking care of the health.
Correct. And that brings me to my third point, which is on productivity. Okay, and that's a measurable component. Productivity. How many medical leaves are you taking in a year? Okay, you might be having 25 leaves, 30 leaves, but how many of them are you exactly using? Okay, that keeps the team also on toes. Look, my manager does not take leave. He ensures to come to office. He's cheerful, vibrant, motivated. He's filled with zeal. Let me also give my 100%. The entire productivity of the shop floor of that company improves. The company does not have employees taking so many medical leaves. And of course, those kind of people who are taking lesser medical leaves are more productive in their work, are able to justify the time that they are spending, will always get the accolades. That can be either your appreciations, which can be non-financial. Okay, so a pat on your back. It can be financial. It can be a promotion, a better car, whatever it may be. Okay, so I think the zeal and motivation, enthusiasm, and not taking too many leaves. आज सर में दर्द है, कल पेट खराब है, आज कोविड है, कल इसको कोविड है, आज फ्लू है. बस बहाने बनाने बंद करने हैं. Because मेरा तबीयत मेरे हाथ में है. I have now taken good care of my health. I don't need to take any medical leave. So I think it's a very critical point which impacts productivity directly.
This reminds me of one particular very funny incident that happened. A few years back in one of my previous organizations that I was actually working for. So one of my colleagues, he was supposed to present a certain project proposal to the management on a particular day. And this project proposal was very important because if this was supposed to get accepted by the management, इस बंदे के लिए प्रमोशन का अपॉर्चुनिटी बन जाता है. So that's why it was very very important.
Right,
You know
right.
what? On that day, the
Yeah.
same thing that happened, he had to take a medical leave.
Oh,
So he took that medical leave. Somebody else presented his idea, and
oh,
guess what? Guess what? That person was selected to lead that program.
that was so bad.
Yeah, that was so bad. And it's a simple occasion that uh, anyone can face this kind of a situation, but it was a very special day for that person,
Right.
wherein he was ill and he had to miss that opportunity. So
Can
I think that
understand that.
reminds all of us the importance of this particular point that you mentioned, that when you take a medical leave because of health issues, you never know what exactly you are missing out on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that brings me to my fourth point, okay, which is so critical. The glow on your face, the sparkle in your eyes, the body posture, the way you are standing. Okay, I can see so many people, and as specifically as banker at 46, people have got those big stomach, okay, those big belly, and the tie runs over the belly. Okay, there's a flow of the tie on the belly, it's never straight, and those buttons sometimes open up after lunch. Okay, and then they are either stoopy, the shoulders dropped in front, they are always on their mobile and watching this way, the head is completely bent, there is spondylitis pain. Some of them I have seen wearing those neck scarves, okay, those neck protectors. Okay, some of them are wearing belts while traveling, some of them are having seats under their chair, okay, in order to support their tailbone. Now,
Right.
what is all this? Okay, what is all this bringing? Of course, a person who is wearing a neck belt or a back belt. Okay, and again, I am not getting critical about people. Okay, so you can have a neck issue, you can have a back issue, but if you take some preventive measures, which we are going to discuss in the course of this event, you can very well protect yourself. And Riti, you mentioned so important a topic of sleep. Leave aside everything, man. I'm not even talking about gymming or running or skipping or doing anything. Just sleep for 6 to 7 good hours. 6-7 घंटा नींद ही ले ले यार. If you can do that much, half of your problems are getting solved. But people are not doing that. Have water. Be hydrated. Most of us are dehydrated because of the aircon. But people are not taking care of such basic stuff. Why? बार बार टॉयलेट जाना पड़ेगा. What a nonsense excuse you are giving me. बार बार टॉयलेट जाना पड़ेगा बोल के you will be dehydrated. So you think that your body is something that should not be cared just because you have to travel to the toilet and it's an important project that you are working. Few times, few days, I can understand excuse. Some people have made that excuse as a part of their life, and that impacts their posture, that impacts the glow, that impacts their productivity and all other aspects. So I think anyone who has a very strong posture, anyone who is confident, his chest out, shoulders back, okay, the scapula is meeting each other, standing tall. There's not a big belly. I'm not saying you need to have a six-pack ab or something, but someone who is looking great, he's posing a lot of comfort in what he's saying. There's a lot of confidence in what he's talking of, vis-a-vis someone who is like, "Ha, sir, will do, sir," saying the same thing, but in a very different kind of a body language. It definitely makes an impact on your career. You will get selected just because of your strength of your body posture and the glow on your face. So that is very, very critical to me. And
Fantastic point. So, Dosto, just let me just remind all of you that in case you have any question, you can put it on the comment section, and we will ask that question live today. So, this is a
yeah,
great
absolutely.
opportunity. So, please don't stay on the backstage and shy away from asking a question. So, in case you have any question, I'm sure, because we are talking about, we are mixing our corporate life, our professional life with the health. So, there can be so many doubts that you might have. So please feel free and put it on the comment section, and we will ask all those questions. We'll try to get answers.
Okay. The last and the most critical point, and so close to my heart, midlife. Okay, midlife. When person reaches 45, 46, as I am. Okay, my daughter is in 11th standard. She's 16 years old. Okay, I am 22 years into my marriage. Okay, I travel 1.5 hours through JVLR to my office in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. I have every particular reason to feel extremely dreadful, extremely sad, extremely unchallenged, okay, on a daily basis. But if you have taken good care of your health, and it's a very, very competitive world. You have 22-year, 23-year-old IIT, IIM grads coming out with the best of knowledge on artificial intelligence, chatbot, and everything else. You are probably a 46-year-old who still works on registers, on files, on Excel. एक्सेल में चार फॉर्मूले डाल दिए तो आपको लगता है आपने बहुत बड़ा कुछ काम कर लिया. It is extremely difficult for a person of 45, 46 who is a 90s or 80s kid, okay, to survive in a world where a 22-year-old has much more technological grasp, has a much better brain power, and is filled with energy because of his youthfulness. It's a very challenging misbalance, and the only thing that can fill up this particular balance is the way you are taking good care of your health. Because when that kiddo will go to a party at night and will be drunk, you will probably work on your self-development. You probably will be working out in the gym and taking that healthy food. That will even out things a bit. And I always believe that midlife crisis is something which is extremely real, and you can save yourself from a midlife crisis if you take good care of your health. So these are my 5 major sutras why a good health will help you survive and excel in your corporate life.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you so much for those very, very important 5 points, Dev. I'll just show all the 5 points that Dev has just explained about for the benefit of people who might have joined now or will be watching it later on. So the first one that he talks about is regarding this particular point, wherein he mentions that great health boosts our workspace motivation and focus during meeting and events, helping to progress in our career. Second point, he talked about this, that it gives high mental clarity, which allows better day management and also helps in taking the right decisions, right? And the third one, it ensures better productivity for the organization and also for that employee, right? Because the employee will be taking lesser number of medical leaves. And the fourth point he talked about is, if you take care of your health, it will ensure that you have a better posture, smile, confidence, and aura in the entire workspace. And it will help improving the perception quotient regarding you as an employee and also regarding your organization. And the fifth point that he has mentioned is, it helps in taking care of your career during your mid-life crisis. I'm sure that many of us will be able to relate to that particular term called midlife crisis. Thank you so much. And Dev, I'm not going to leave you right now. So, I have few questions.
Absolutely.
If you want to put any question, आप वो question comment section में डाल सकते हो. And in fact, I take the liberty on behalf of Dev कि आपको अगर कोई क्वेश्चन बाद में पूछना है, बाद में भी पूछ सकते हो, हम लोग उनसे उसका जवाब मांगेंगे.
पक्का.
I think there is a comment that has come. I don't know if it is a comment or a question. Okay, Rakesh is saying medical expense are very high, so that's what you're saying, which creates financial crisis. Yes, so that's true. So that's a comment, not a question. Rakesh, in case you have a question, you can put a question also. So health is very important. Yes, you are right. You got it right. Okay, now by the time the others think about the question that they are going to ask, I have a few questions which I have noted down. So I put those questions here on the screen. So this is my first question, that what are some common health challenges that employees do face in the workplace, and how can these challenges impact the career success, right? Because we are connecting health to career success.
One of my colleagues, okay, I won't of course take names here. One of my colleagues in one of the organization, I've worked with 4 of them, died at the age of 32. He was a top dealer in the treasury department, earning close to 2 crores. Close to 2 crores of money, okay, every year he was making. He was a top dealer. He died because of lung cancer. Okay, and he was working till the last day of his life. He had no eyebrows because of the chemotherapy. This particular event still strikes me, okay, till date, okay, that is still very vivid in my memory. I saw a friend of mine, a 33-year-old friend, working in the vault, picking up crates of physical shares. I'm talking about days when shares were all physical. Now it's all demat, but shares
Yes.
used to be physical at one time. Picking up the crate, his backbone just snapped because he picked it up at a very wrong posture. He was extremely obese, and somewhere his backbone just gave up. Okay, and that was the end of his working career. Just 2 days back, a 41-year-old colleague, he died of heart disease. Okay, he died of heart attack. What does all this tell me? I feel there are a few things that's not working very fine in today's corporate world. This frequent birthday parties, okay, and where they serve this samosa,
Yeah.
this jalebi, okay, all this vada pav kind of stuff, which are not at all healthy, day in day out. Okay, this is one of the bigger health challenges for corporate world. Continuous serving of vada pav, samosa, and all this kind of junk food, which are deep fried in oil, which is carcinogenic, which is trans fat, which is maida, which is white flour, okay, sugar. All of this is going into our system on a daily basis. Now, this is extremely hurtful to the system. Sleep, lack of sleep, because people carry their stress of work at home and they keep thinking and expecting that they will get their sleep. लेकिन नींद आती नहीं. जब 10 से 12 के बीच में डीप स्लीप आना होता है, बंदा बैठा होता है, सोच रहा होता है कल क्या करूंगा, आज क्या करूंगा. ही इज टॉसिंग टर्विंग. He is not getting that good quality sleep. So sleep most important. 3, not enough protein. नीचे जाता है कैंटीन में खाने के लिए इडली सांभर खाता है, दोपहर को जाता है चाइनीज नूडल्स ले लेता है, शाम को जाता है पानी पूरी खा लेता है, रात को आता है बीवी ने जो भी बनाया होगा दलिया खिचड़ी खा लिया, वट एवर डोसा उथप्पा. अब प्रोटीन कहाँ गया भैया? You have to take 1 gram per kg body weight. And Riti, you know, I am so focused on this 1 gram per kg body weight. अगर आप 70 kg के हो, आपको 70 ग्राम प्रोटीन दिन का चाहिए, लेकिन आप लेते ही नहीं हो. आप तो सिर्फ सब तरह का कूड़ा करकट, सैंडविच, ब्रेड, पानी पूरी, भेलपूरी, चाट मसाला पूरी, वड़ा पाव, समोसा पाव, यही भर रहे हो. प्रोटीन तो इसमें है ही नहीं. सारे के सारे कार्बोहाइड्रेट है, वो भी सारे गंदे ट्रांस फैट है उसमें. सिंपल कार्बोहाइड्रेट है. Now this is what is hurting corporate India. What is further hurting corporate India is the various forms of radiation. You keep the laptop on your lap, that's extremely bad for the testicle health. Okay, the testicular health for men gets impacted if you keep the laptop on your lap. Though it's a laptop, but it's not to be kept on the lap. You keep the mobile on the front pocket, that hurts your lungs, because mobile, when it is only on a single battery or a single line or a 2-line battery, which means around 20-25%, it sends certain signals which causes cancer. And the friend that I mentioned, he used to keep his mobile on the top pocket, unaware that the mobile had drained off completely, because in treasury you are not supposed to be using your mobile phone. That mobile used to stay in his up pocket. He was not a smoker, and yet he suffered from lung cancer just because he was keeping his mobile on the top pocket. That dangerous it is. People keep their keep their mobile in the front pocket. Now that's also very dangerous, because it's again close to the male reproductive organ. Ladies don't have that problem, but men, if they are keeping it in the front pocket, that's dangerous. So where to keep the mobile? On the back pocket, of the trouser, or in your laptop bag. You don't keep the mobile, definitely not on your front pocket. Front pocket of the shirt, front pocket of the trousers, still okay, but avoidable. Best is back pocket or the laptop bag. These are a few things around health that I believe. Let me see if I have missed out something. Bad posture, okay, bad posture. Constantly sitting in front of the laptop. Nowadays, you have got those ergonomic desks. You get those screens which are just parallel, like the way it is now to me, and not this way. Okay, many people are watching their laptop in this fashion. Now, that bad posture is something that is also extremely disturbing. Electromagnetic radiations, I have already spoken about the laptop and the mobile. Ensure you're switching off your Wi-Fi at night. Ensure you're switching off your mobile at night while sleeping, so that you are free of electromagnetic radiations as much as possible. सब कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा. Aircon चालू रहेगा तो there are radiations which are coming from there. Okay, you will be charging some appliances. There will be something which will be on, but try your best to nullify as much of electromagnetic radiation as possible from your room when you're sleeping. So I think these are some of the challenges and a few mitigants that I have suggested that might work.
Okay, that's fantastic. Just a follow-up question on that. What do you suggest in office when we actually take up say a Zoom call or a Teams call kind of? Is it advisable that we should be using a Bluetooth or we should be using a wired connector? Which one?
Always a wired. Look, I'm using a wired. Okay, I'm using a wired. Now, if you look at this is a Wi-Fi that I have, and I'm avoiding using it. I'm using a wired. The reason is the Wi-Fi will again hit your brain. Okay, there are signals which are entering your ears, and that is not too good for your brain. Now, there will be some unavoidable circumstances where you will have to use a Wi-Fi, but not all the time. And I have now seen a new trend: people putting in this speakers and then they are walking around. Okay, earlier they used to be these wired phones where they used to hold. Now it's all hands free and people are just moving around the entire floor speaking on that. Wi-Fi is avoidable. Wired is always preferred.
Okay, great. Thank you for that point.
Yeah.
Okay, we see a question coming up. Ankit is asking, what are the things that we should take care of during working hours so that it does not have a bad effect on health? I think that's what Dev was actually explaining. All the things he has talked about related to the things that we do during our work time at office, the not so good things, the wrong things, and he has also suggested what is the right thing to do.
And Ankit, since आपने ये सवाल पूछा है, आपके लिए दो एक्स्ट्रा टिप. हर 20 मिनट में वॉक करना चाहिए आपको. 20 मिनट में, every 20 minutes you should be walking and you should be watching towards the horizon because your eyes get very tired. Watch towards the horizon, walk after 20 minutes and do some seated stretches. You don't have to get up and do any great acrobats, but just some basic stretches like taking this hand, pulling it behind, taking this hand, pulling it behind, taking the neck, just giving a supported stretch to your neck, front, then back, push it against the system. So a few stretches that you can always do. You can get up and you can just stretch yourself, open up your chest. Okay, the pectoralis muscles get opened up. So a few stretches, water intake, reduce your coffee intake, ensure you make the healthiest choices of the canteen. So if there is idli and dosa and vada, go for idli because that's the steamed version. But vada would be the last option. Choose that, drink water enough. If you take care of this basic stuff, I think you should be good.
Okay, so Rakesh has a point, how to decrease protein from, okay, how possibly he wants to ask that how protein gets depleted from the body. He's also saying that high protein also creates problem.
Okay, so high protein would be creating a problem if you have a uric acid issue, okay, or your kidneys are disturbed. So your creatinine levels are over 1. Now that becomes a very, very technical topic, okay, and I can spend an hour, but I don't think so. That's the idea of this particular event. This event is specifically to focus on how we can better the health and improve your career growth. So संक्षेप में आपको इतना ही कहना चाहूंगा, अगर आपको कोई किडनी का प्रॉब्लम है, यूरिक एसिड का इश्यू है, then you will have to be restrictive about your protein intake and you will have to be under medical supervision. You can't take purine. Okay, so tomatoes you have to avoid. You will have to avoid whey protein or anything that is very high in protein. Fish, chicken would be fine, but you need to be very, very mindful about your protein intake because you have a kidney issue. Okay, that's the concern.
But अगर इन्होंने टेस्ट करवाया और इनका किडनी इश्यू नहीं है,
तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
To take protein, right?
Absolutely, you need to take 1 gram of protein, 0.8 grams to 1 gram of protein on a daily basis is the requirement which every individual needs to take without fail.
Yeah, so I believe that Rakesh, आपको जवाब मिल गया होगा importance के बारे में. So we have so many questions, but again I think we are limited by the time because this is such a topic wherein it can be a full day session.
I know.
I would not like to hold you back too much because it is actually getting late in the night, and I'm sure that you are also
I'm
working.
okay. I'm absolutely fine. If you are fine, I'm fine. I'll go with the flow. As much
Okay,
as
so
you want to ask me, I'm there.
I will ask you only a final question. Okay, I see there is a
Sure.
comment that has come. Okay. My wife is having high protein, so she has shrinking bones. So anything you'd like to comment on that, Rakesh, as well?
Yeah, so protein has this tendency of etching out calcium from the bones. Okay, so it, and specifically in ladies, they have this tendency of osteoporosis and osteopenia. These are certain conditions that keep happening as the lady reaches towards her menopausal age. Okay, so along with protein, you also need to take vitamin K2 and calcium with vitamin D3. Okay, so sunlight, calcium. Calcium can be from sesame seeds or milk or any other source that you can, and vitamin K2. You do get supplements at the medical store that should be taken along with protein. If you are just taking protein, protein has a tendency of etching out calcium from the bones. The bones of a ladies are always brittle because of the changing, the estrogen levels falls down closer to the menopausal stage. So that is the reason why you need to be very careful about ladies. Men, so if it was Rakesh, I don't think so that will be a challenge. It can be a challenge with ladies, and you will need to take medical supervision. But from my side, I will say K2 plus D3 plus calcium is something that you will need to look at for her.
Okay, it seems
Okay,
she's
she's
taking.
taking. Okay, perfect. Perfect then.
Okay, now I'll ask you just one
Hmm.
question that is uh, related to the field that I'm working in, and many people actually ask that question whenever we talk about field, the
Hmm.
importance of it. So people say that there are certain jobs which demands uh, your attention a little bit longer than other functions. There are certain
Hmm.
jobs that requires you to work for 10 घंटा 12 घंटा 14 घंटा दिन में, and even after coming back to home also you are not fully away from your work. So given this kind of a situation that some professionals are facing, how do you suggest that they maintain a proper balance and still find the time to take care of their health? Any suggestion?
So something that works for me, because I face a similar kind of a situation. Anyone who has a BlackBerry, okay, is expected to be connected at least 16 to 18 hours of their day. Okay, but it is for us to set those boundaries. Everything, even the sun sets at a fixed time. There are so many days I anticipate कि थोड़ा और रह जाता. Okay, there were so many days in the Mahabharat युद्ध that the warriors felt that काश आज sunrise ऐसा ही रहे, sunset ना हो. लेकिन ऐसा नहीं होता है. Sun has to set. If the sun has to set, then I am a very small person. I have to set my boundary and say that boss, I am setting because I am going home. I have to mentally disconnect from my work. How will that happen? Through mindfulness. Mindfulness is something that I have learned in the hard way, but in a very smart way. When I am in office, I am just with the office. I don't think about wife and what's happening at home. My wife is extremely capable of taking care of those things. But when I am at home, extremely rare that I'm thinking about my work. People have this habit of checking the BlackBerry just for the heck of clearing off their inboxes. Now that's something that can be avoided. Yes, if there is any issue and your boss calls up, you can't say that, look, I have already set like the sun. Okay, because the sun can do that. You can't. Okay, you still have to work, but that will be an exception because your boss will also appreciate your privacy, will appreciate your personal life. Okay, so he will not call you on every day. The day he does, please do give the attention and bring your mindfulness focus to that. But if you draw your own boundaries, I think it's not a big challenge. The other things that work very well for me is, यार ऑफिस से आने के बाद आप नेटफ्लिक्स देखने बैठ जाओगे एक चिप्स का पैकेट लेके. I would say just wear your sneakers and go out for a walk. Put on some music, listen to something nice, put on some Gyan book, some Audible, something. Go for a walk. Go for a walk and come back. Now that will re-energize you. Many people think that because they are tired, they will not go out for a walk because they will feel more tired. But try doing this. Go out. The Japanese call it a forest walk. Okay, that re-energizes you when you go out in the open because you see so many other facets of life. the same food that you probably were saying that क्या यार कैंटीन में रोज यही खाना मिलता है, you will see a person, a homeless person, probably eating a dried chapati with some bhaji which is fallen on the side of the street, and will give you a very different perspective. So go out for a walk. Don't just sit down on the chair. Okay, don't just take that whiskey glass because it's Friday. So what, yaar, if it's a Friday? Go to the gym instead. Try to work out. Try to spend some good quality time with your kid. Try to spend some time with your wife. Speak with her. Get your investments into place. So I think बहाने बहुत है हमारे पास. हमको जब चाहिए हम सुट्टा मारने के लिए चले जाते हैं दोस्तों के साथ 4 बार 5 बार. वी कैन स्पेंड हाफ एन आवर फॉर एवरी सेशन. 4 सेशन वैसा हो गया तो 2 घंटे का तो आपने सुट्टा मार लिया. 1 घंटे का आपने खाना, चाय ब्रेक, टी ब्रेक, कॉफी ब्रेक सब ले लिया. 3 घंटे आपने काम में बर्बाद किए हैं. इफ यू कैन कट डाउन एंड से 1.5 hours, you can leave from office 1.5 hours before, and you can spend that 1.5 hours in a walk or doing something more productive. So it's all in the mind. If you are able to plan up better, I think you can very well create a complete bifurcation between your work life and your personal life, and do great in both. I don't know if
I
it
think
helps you.
that was fantastic, and I'm sure कि बहुतों को इस सवाल का जवाब भी मिल गया होगा, because many a times many people talk about this. So as Dev has rightly mentioned, it's all in your mind.
Right.
आप अगर सोचते हो आप समय बनाओगे, आप समय बना लोगे, क्योंकि आप समय बना लेते हो बहुत सारी चीजों के लिए, apart from your job also, right?
Correct.
So the same thing you can do for your health. The only question that is important is whether you think your health to be important or not. अगर आपको लगता है कि आपका हेल्थ इंपॉर्टेंट है तो समय तो आप निकाल ही लोगे.
आपका मेडिकल रिपोर्ट खराब आएगा, कोलेस्ट्रॉल हाई आएगा, तो तुरंत आप जूता पहन के दूसरे दिन से दौड़ना चालू करोगे, बिकॉज अब वो रिपोर्ट आया है गलत. ओके, suddenly you make time for that run outside, go to jog, suddenly you become very diet conscious, you become very focused, life becomes very different now because your cholesterol levels are. And I have seen people again getting lazy after their cholesterol levels improve, and they feel that it's like a servicing of the car that is done just once in a year. No, boss, you have to keep working so that you are at the best and the peak of your health. Sorry, I just thought I should add that particular part.
Awesome, super. So friends, that's all we had today, because again the time doesn't permit us to go beyond this particular point. I've already taken so much of time of Dev today, and thank you so much for spending such a long time here. And as I said, in case you people have any question, please go ahead and put it on the comment section. We will ask Dev later on with a request to give answers to your questions. So friends, if in case you find that this particular discussion, this particular conversation was of any value, please go ahead and share with your friends and family members who can also get benefited from the points that we have discussed. Thank you so much for your presence, and thank you so much, Dev.
My pleasure always. Thanks a lot to your tribe for listening to me. Thanks. Bye, Dhriti. You have a nice day. And happy Monday. Bye.
Yes, you too.